Greetings and salutations, this is your host, Tim the MegaRetroGeek, coming in at you at a freaking Saturday. Where's my cartoons at? So, here it is, the nice little Retro Roundup. We got a nice little Saturday, wholesome. It's the first weekend of June. Holy monkey, June busted out all over. Jazz hands. Anyway, I digress. So, this week we have had nothing but hard-hitting games left and right getting announced, and it's not even stopping. So the biggest announcement, of course, I think, like for Retro side, is dropping all 5 of the original Game Boy Mega Man games on Nintendo Switch. Holy monkey! Holy Mega Man Batman! Like, this is nuts, because, like, usually Capcom will drop, like, a little dribble, this and that, and, like, boom. Now, take into consideration, what makes these Game Boy games so unique, because to me, these were pretty much the entry level for people who just started into getting into Mega Man games in the early 90s. Now, when 1990, when Dr. Wily's Revenge first came out on the Game Boy, and then the second, the third, fourth, and fifth, I'm like, dang, they were just rocking out the Casbah. But I feel like, you know, kids who couldn't really afford a good NES, or they couldn't afford a Super Nintendo at the time, this was their, like, gateway drug, so to speak. So, it's cool as hell. But I was like, damn, very impressed. Now, if you think about it, now the Nintendo Switch is the actual definitive way to play every single Mega Man game. Almost. There's only a few small handful now missing. There's, of course, Mega Man Transmission Network from the GameCube, which was a pretty good platformer. I liked it. Mega Man 64, sure it is a watered-down version of Mega Man Legends, but the problem is Sony's got pretty much the copyright on that sucker, so you're never going to see the light of day of that, baby. And, okay, what's the other ones? Oh, yeah, the Star Force series from the DS in the GBA days or something like that. Because I know we got, like, the Mega Man Battle Network games, all 10 of them in one hit. And, of course, you got the Mega Man Zero and the Mega Man ZX series and so forth. But, yeah, those are, like, those ones I just mentioned previously are, like, maybe 4 of the game are just MIA. And I'm probably never going to see the light of day, or maybe just lost in translation, you know what I mean? But it's crazy, like, how I feel like I also saw the new Power Rangers game that was really kick-ass. And it's like pretty much when Shredder's Revenge for the Ninja Turtles got big, everybody wanted a piece of cake. My only wish right now, if we got a Power Ranger game that's a beat-em-up brawler, we also have what was the other one? Oh yeah, Toxic Crusaders. Where the heck is this game? I'm dying to play it. It looks badass as hell. Plus, it's got my favorite dude who's not even part of Canon Series, Kabuki Man. I'm like, God, give me more of that. But the biggest shocker for me, excuse me, biggest shocker for me was SNK characters in a mainstream franchise of Street Fighter. That was cool. I mean, I reworded that wrong. An actual, like, sequel, like Street Fighter 6 is getting Terry Bogard and Mai Shinryu. And I was like, what the hell? And I was very impressed with the return of Elena from Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. And also was very impressed. M. Bison looks rough. And I like it. I'm like, yeah, you got your butt handed to you so many times, but he's not even really human. It's just the psycho powers, like, keeping him, like, alive, I guess. But yeah, that was a kicker. To me, that's teasing me that Capcom and SNK might team up again, because if we get a real true definitive Capcom versus SNK 3, I'm going to lose my poop. Alright, I'm just going to lose it. Anyway, but yeah, very exciting week, and it's not even stopping. Even tomorrow will be the Xbox Showcase. Now, I digress. I've been pretty harsh on Xbox and Microsoft, and I'm going to back off, because this is the only one chance, the one shot opportunity that Microsoft can stop everything they're doing, pull it back, and then harness the reins and go, okay, guys, we really messed up. You close all these divisions. You stop this, you stop that. You're trying to rebrand this. Now, the biggest thing I will say, and I think a lot of people forgot, is the Xbox Series S. This was a savior of the COVID days in the 2020 and 2021. Nobody could find a freaking Xbox Series X or a PS5, but the Series S and the Switch were pretty much the king and queen of the saviors of that time frame. You could get a Switch Lite, no problemo. You could get a Series S, no problem. Is there anything wrong with these consoles? No. They're actually a little bit cooler than they really are. It's just the convenience and how small they are. And we also forget that this system sold extremely well in other countries like Japan and stuff like that, because how compact it is. Japanese love that style of like format, because everything is always in a busy and hurry, and their living situation, where they live, is a very small, compact kind of thing. Everything has to be petite because they're minimalist. Let's just be honest. But that's why I did so well, and plus they're getting a lot of good JRPGs. It's great, but the storage is the only downside about it. Sure, they came out with a black version of it with a 1 terabyte, but still, that's not even enough this day and age. Because, I mean, you start downloading like crazy. Only I recommend Game Pass Ultimate, which there's many sides of the coin. Is it hurting sales? It actually, I feel like digital downloads of it did hurt physical. And I will say, digital is here to stay. That's the sad part. Because, let's be honest, guys who collect physical games like us, it's dwindling. We're dwindling sadly. And we're kind of like, when you go to a convention, you see most of these guys in the middle age and still collecting old cartridges and stuff like that. For me, it's beautiful because, it was my era and my time, just like everybody else. But it's sad because all these young kids are like pretty much just stomping in. They just want the game now. They don't care about owning it. They don't care about actually having it on the shelf. Which is funny because we all heard last night, Remedy shows up with, okay, we're going to release Alan Wake 2 in a physical format. Hooray! I'm like, yeah, because Remedy has some really badass games. It's just so weird that we're living in this time frame, Excuse me. I'm trying to fight allergies. But I digress. The Series S is actually not a terrible console. It is not. It's actually really kick-ass. And actually, stand by side, and many videos have been popping up to defend it, actually show it has quicker load times. Because here's the thing. Without an actual disk drive in the sucker, you actually eliminate a lot of, programs that the CPU has to run. So it's like, you eliminate that, it makes it quicker and faster. I'm like, that's right. Because what's the first thing? When you boot up a computer, the first thing it's going to look for is the drive. It's going to look for the drive, make sure it's okay, then make sure the hard drive's okay, then make sure the GPU is okay, the graphic processor, and then launch the title. And then find the application, make sure it's okay, make sure it's updated. Yeah, you take away the drive, you actually cut back like a lot of the other issues it needs to find before launching that one title. What's one title? Like, impresses me, Fortnite. So you hold up Fortnite against the PS5, the Xbox Series X, and the Series S version. The Series S version actually launches a few seconds faster because there's nothing there to worry about. Like, I don't know, for some reason, like, every single computer runs the exact same. It doesn't tell it that this is a digital game only. In its mind, it's thinking, okay, there's probably a disk in there. I better check the disk drive first. It's like checking the front door and the back door of the house before, Ghostface shows up, This time, all I gotta do is check the back door and you're fine. So that's cool, and so to speak. And with that said, the Series S is not a bad console. It's not bad at all. It's just this limited storage space. But the problem is, if you think about it, most of the average consumers only play small amount of games. They don't care about the big games that sell well, like Rocket League, Fall Guys, Minecraft. You gotta have Minecraft. Oh my god. And of course Fortnite, stuff like that, or one of the big Call of Duties. But when the big Call of Duties come out, you really want to get serious. That's when storage is gonna be like a big fat, oh my god, we have a problem here. And that's, like, to me, that's the only problem. So they sell the expansion cards. Awesome. My problem is solid state drives on consoles are still expensive. But because they have that certain exclusive, contract with making these special, unique ones that are made by Seagate, you're pretty much screwed. It feels like an Apple product all over again. You have to buy that and nothing else. But Western Digital made a cheaper version. That's the same thing. I mean, it's just a little tiny itty bitty card about the size of a freaking cracker, for God's sakes. And you're pretty much screwed over and get to buy this thing. But it helps. It really does. But there's also other alternative means. But trying to explain to people who just jumped in between a standard drive and a solid state drive is, especially people who just jumping in and they just want to play the game. They don't care. It's so you pretty much, you got to delete, re-download, and just sacrifice games. You just can't be you come home after a hard day, you're ready to rock out a game, and you got to be careful because, yeah. But if you have it right now, if you get one little thing of stick of 1 terabyte, slap that sucker in, you're fine. You're fine for a little bit until later bigger games come out. But anyway, I'm Tim the Mega Retro Geek. Let's rock out Saturday, because you guys got to do me one favor only, and as always, stay retro, my friends.